Howdy everybody, this is T Walker aka Tanner going to do a video for you today, and the title alone has probably sparked a whole bunch of angry comments. Now, before you get into your angry, furious typing, let me qualify what I've said. The title of this video is in fact Stereotypes Are Not the Devil, or Are Not Bad. I haven't decided on which yet, but you'll know, even though I don't at the moment. But let me explain why. Now, this is going to be the first video in a series of videos aimed at new players and or GMs, DMs who are dealing with new players, alright? That's my first qualifier. Now that doesn't mean if you are an experienced player you should turn off the video, or it doesn't mean if you're an experienced GM you should turn off the video. There still might be something that you hadn't thought of and or whatever, you get it. Please finish the video. Anyway, so stereotypes aren't bad. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. Most of the time, in an experienced game, if you get a player who plays, you know, the strong silent type, the man a few words who is rough and mean, and I'm gonna go smash him, and I'll protect you, right? No, it doesn't really talk that much. It's the strong, silent type. That's a stereotype, right? You're probably going to look at that player and you're going to be like, what are you doing? What is this crap that you're feeding me, the DM? And this is the most boring character I have ever seen in my entire life. What is this crap? I expected more from you, right? That's probably what's going to happen. Now, let's go to the exact opposite of that. Say you have a new player, right? And you help this player and you go through all of his background intricacies, all these different types of events and people he's met, all these different things that have happened to him to shape his personality. But he's a new player, a little bit uncomfortable with role-playing. How well do you think he's going to be able to pull off that character that you both have worked so hard on? Pretty much not very well. I mean, if he has a strong personality or a theater background, maybe, but a new player who's a little bit uncomfortable with role-playing, probably came from more of a video game gaming background, they're not going to do it so well. And it's not because they're bad, it's because they're new, and they feel overwhelmed. Alright? And this is why I say stereotypes aren't bad, because let's look at what stereotypes really are. Stereotypes are predictable personalities and often physical appearances. Now, yes, they are predictable, but in being predictable, they are easy and they are simple. And not only that, people understand them, and they understand them very, very easily, and they don't need any further explanation than the stereotype itself. Now that, right there, is an amazing tool. An amazing tool for new players. Because if you give them a huge just list of all these things that happen to them, and you expect them to create a personality out of that, you're not going to get very much, because they don't know how. But give them a stereotype, or if you want to use a nicer but incorrect term, an archetype, they will understand it, because that's what stereotypes are in nature, something that is overused and is very, very easy to understand and portray. Alright? Now, let's look at the other thing that a stereotype is. Like I said, it is a very simple personality to understand. Simple personality. That's what it is. It is a personality. A stereotype is still a personality. Alright? Now, it may be a personality that you have seen so much that you want to puke, and you hate it, you cannot stand it. But keep in mind that when you're dealing with a new player, anything you give them is new to them. It doesn't matter if it's a stereotype. It doesn't matter how overused it is done, or how overused it is in cinema or books or anything. It's going to be new to that player. Now, it's going to be new because they haven't role played before, but it's going to be easy to portray for them. Easier, right? And more than that, they're going to have a personality. A personality that is more than a wallflower. Being, no, I don't have anything to add, guys. No, you can, no, that's fine with me. Alright. Because they're uncomfortable. But a stereotype, you throw one of those on a character, it's just so easily accessible that, boom, they know what to do. They know how that stereotype would act. Plus, you can ham up a stereotype so easily. I mean, think of Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? Say, alright, just pretend you're Arnold Schwarzenegger during the entire game, right? Now, yes, that's going to create some corny scenes, but they're going to be role-playing. You know, they might go, oh, yeah, I'm going to smash him, right? But they're role-playing. You just got them to roleplay. You just passed that huge barrier and just got them to roleplay. Step in the right direction, I think. Now, like I said, they're easily accessible and they're easily understandable. Now, maybe you don't do that every time. You can move on from this, but for a new player, everything's new to them. And yeah, you're going to get some kind of at the beginning, but this is a way to ease them into the game. Ease them in is by giving them a very easily, very accessible way of doing things, way of thinking about things. It doesn't need to be complex, but what it does need to be is a personality. And like I said, either A, they turn into the wallflower and don't do anything, or they start knowing that feeling intimidated by the role-playing, they go in the other direction. And the other direction is the one I can't stand. And that is the tactical battle master. Now, this is where they start doing everything in their power to get bonus modifiers, bonus dice. And your game turns into a MacGyver campaign, where they are saying, well, you know, if I put dirt in, if I cover my dagger in dirt or poo, will I poison him? Okay, I'm going to do that. I mean, that can be interesting some of the time, but when every single time they try to MacGyver something up for more bonuses, it gets in the way and does not make a good story, right? So rather than have your character or your players wallflower or MacGyver, give them a stereotype. Say, alright, you know, I understand that you're new, so for this first game, what I want you to do is, you know, you've described, you know, we have this character, maybe you're a cleric. Now, we have a whole bunch of things. Do you want to play, you know, maybe like a religious zealot, right? You know, maybe imagine you're some sort of church leader, blah, 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 you know. Give them a stereotype to cling to, because they're just so simple and so out there that, you know, yes, they are predictable, but that new player will cling on to that, and their character will have a personality more than those two extremes I just talked about. You know, or maybe if they're a cleric, put them in the other direction. Alright, why don't you pretend you're Mother Teresa, right? You know, or Gandhi. No, non-violence, that's what your type is. What do you want to play, right? Give them an archetype or stereotype to cling to, alright? Because that's going to make it easier for them. Alright, anyway, this has been T. Walker, aka Tanner, doing a video for new players, remember, new players, and DM/GMs dealing with new players, and I'm signing off. How do I stop this? Oh, there we go.